Reaperman here with Shifting Gears Road Trip on the Game Boy Advance. This is the second Choro Q game on the system after what in America is called Gadget Racers. Now these games always seem to change their name a bit when they come to America, but if you think these two games are confusing, you should see what happens to the big console versions of them. Anyway, I've only recently gotten the ability to record Game Boy Advance footage, so I'm definitely going to take a little bit of advantage of that and start with a game that I really enjoy here. Now let's have a look in here, and one of the things that I really like about this game is, yes, it's a racing game, and yes, I do like racing games, but this game has all of the beginnings of what would later become mobile gaming. So it's actually got these 4 different kind of intertwined campaign modes here. You start off with these bottom 3 and then unlock the Grand Prix mode after a little bit here. So sprint race is your straight racing, battle race is kind of like a kart racing thing, and road trip are kind of like little mini game competitions. And then when you get a little ways in these, you unlock Grand Prix mode, and this is your multiple races, your series of races kind of thing. Now all of these little modes give you little tiny upgrades to make your car better, or at least different with, and they also give you income that you can use down at the shop. So actually, to get all the parts, you actually have to do a little bit of everything to do this. So let's go ahead and let's go into a nice boring sprint race here. Now in this game you do race in the air with either propellers or jets, or on the sea with floats, but we're just gonna do some regular old, we'll start with off-road here, and we'll pick a nice easy track here. Now when you go into customization, you can choose all of these different parts for your car. I happen to know that we are outfitted pretty well for dirt racing here, so let's just go ahead and get a race going. Now the graphics on this game are certainly not the worst on the system. They're not absolutely amazing, but they're actually really nice. One thing that I think is odd is that there's actually a little bit of verticality to these courses sometimes, especially the water ones, which tend to have kind of a wave system going. And it's a little surprising that the game doesn't fully capitalize on showing that off. My car is actually way too fast for this course, it seems. I'm just blowing the competition away a little bit here with my overpowered Miata here. But yeah, I really am surprised that they didn't capitalize more on the verticality of their courses. It actually does a little bit more than the usual Mode 7 style game does, and it's just surprising that they don't shout that to the hills. Now, upgrading your car in this game, there's actually a little bit of a careful balance that you have to do between your steering and your tires, and otherwise you just kind of pick the thing with the best stats. Generally, you want the best tires out there, but you definitely do not want your steering to be better than your tires, and you get awesome steering way too early here. Okay, so that was fun. Let's go and let's actually do like an aquatic race here. Let's go into the marine area, and there's some frozen, there's some tropical, there's some deep cave. Let's just do some nice tropical here. We're going to have to customize. We're going to have to take the tires off this thing, and we're going to have to put some Miata floats on, if you will. Looks like the racing float is the best one I've got. So I believe this course is going to have some nice waves to look at, so well, we can enjoy that here. This is also a very basic course. Now, the racing in this game is not the focus, as I mentioned. It's about feeding the addiction loops. The upgrade addiction loops, the unlocking addiction loops, all of that stuff. And you do that by racing through these different campaign modes, if you will, and either winning parts or purchasing parts. This guy's really upset me. I'm not sure I can catch him. That's weird. So about the only thing that mobile games do that this game doesn't is this game has a very straightforward store system where You use one type of currency to just straight up buy parts that you've unlocked in the campaign modes, of course. Can't have things unlocked from the start. There are no loot boxes, there are no anything like that, but you do have to do every bit of pretty much all 3 campaigns to unlock all of the parts here. Now this is the basic racing mode. The battle mode is actually quite a serviceable kart racer. And I did surprisingly badly at that. Let's go ahead and try an air race, and I happen to know that in the air arena, the sky arena if you will, we are going to have to turn the steering down a bit because I don't have any good jets yet. Roll down here to quick steer. Oh, actually quick steer is perfect as long as I don't have devil steer on. Because those devil parts are just fantastic, but they can completely throw my car out of balance here. And no, I don't have everything unlocked because I've only been playing this game for a couple of days. Oh, this one is not going to go well for me because I'm running a prop. Okay. Go through here. Shortcut! Now the graphics in this are fairly charming, I would say. The music's very nice. It's just kind of a pleasant game. But again, the reasons I like it aren't so much for the racing, it's for all of the unlockables and the way that makes you feel. Whoops. And that makes for a pretty interesting play experience. I have a feeling there's a little shortcut I can take to the right there. But this is really the only one I capitalize on fully here. Now one downside is you really aren't on the track for that very long in races. And these races are actually kind of supposed to win. Now you can get through them generally with kind of persistence. So the first time you do a race, you're really not going to get first because you don't have nice enough parts, and then you come back later on for the records, and that makes it kind of silly to go for the records early on until you've unlocked all of the parts, or at least most of the parts. Let's have a look in the store and see if there's anything else we can buy. So you got all the different car models here. I of course have the best one already, which is the Miata. And these are just the parts that I haven't bothered to purchase. But yes, this is actually a very entertaining game, and I definitely recommend it to people. Now, the console versions of these games, I tend not to recommend nearly as much. It just doesn't feel as correct for this type of gameplay to be done on the console. Also, the handling tends to be kind of weird on them. But these games, these are actually pretty nice here. Actually, instead of that, let's do a road trip course. So this is your usual pick up all the coins. Here's jump darts. Here's some kind of Gran Turismo style brake test. And let's just go ahead and do darts. Alright, so apparently we need tires. That's fine. We'll switch to tires. Off-Road Plus. Off-Road Plus are actually generally good tires for this point in the game. And all we do is we try and get the early start there, and then we try and do our speed boost. And then we hit the dartboard. And there we go, bullseye. So this has been Shifting Gears Road Trip. It took me a while to remember that one. Or Choro Q Advance 2. Highly recommend this game. Do not overlook it. It's a very fun one. And coming up here, I will have my top 5 Game Boy Advance racing games. I believe that's the video I'm actually working on now. And this one, unfortunately, just didn't make the cut again. And that's because this one is not really about the racing. It's about the grind and the upgrade and the whole addictiveness of the experience. So until next time, Reaper Man out.